Place your bets, you jackwagons. Brad the Big Noise Evans here on a solo mission as Nate Lundy is sipping my ties on Waikiki. I'm extremely envious because it is paradise on earth, but college basketball don't sleep, it don't rest. So let's get after it here on another edition of the Fade 5 podcast. So we got a spicy Taco Tuesday in that sport. So let's hop aboard the honk plus bus right away here as we do almost every single episode of the Fade 5 pod with our favorite plus 100 odds wager or greater. And I am going out east in an A10 matchup. Give me VCU on the money line, taking on the UMass Minutemen, who could shoot a blank in this one, plus 140. Yeah, work the shoulders and get seduced by that juice there at BetMGM. Why am I on this game? VCU is a definition of road warriors. They are 5-1 straight up away from the Commonwealth this season. And most importantly, yeah, the number 59 EFG offense, don't slouch in that category, but numero uno in those road matchups among all college teams in EFG defense. They are voracious guarding the basketball. And you look over the last 30 days, they're number 45 overall on board. Torvik, a little bit slower tempo. They like to keep in the half court and pop, punch in the mouth repeatedly. Number 289 adjusted tempo over that 30-day stretch. And again, that defense, much like it is on the road the last 30 days, in totality, number 9 in the country EFGD, limiting opponents to 46.5% inside the arc and just 26.2% outside of it. You look at UMass, they're, no pushover, number 98 in Torvik over last month, but they are number 181 at home in EFG offense. So don't be sucked in by their 11-2 mark straight up in their friendly confines. I say VCU wins what is sure to be a tight affair, probably low possession as well, given the playing style of the Rams. So I'm going to go with them and ram it home with them on the money line, plus 140 at BetMGM. With that, bet on the board. Let me get after it on this Tuesday with another edition of the Fade 5. Numero cinco here on the countdown. It's full fade effect right now for the Wisconsin Badgers. I know they're inside the Kohl Center, but I'm going to take Maryland plus 7.5 at a minus 115 juice there, available at FanDuel Sportsbook. I even like this when it opened at 6.5, to be honest with you. And yes, putting ball through basket is a bit of a chore for the Terps. Not exactly exhibiting turtle power. They're more Michelangelo, more playful when they have the basketball in hand on their end of the floor. But I will say this, very staunch and rigid defense, and one that can really get after it guarding the basketball, evidenced by their number 55 EFGD rank over the last 30 days. And on the road, they are also number 6 in all of college basketball in effective field goal percentage defense. So really similar to VCU. It's offensive struggles, but defensive might. And I think that is going to keep this game nip and tuck, considering the Badgers have lost 5 of the last 6 games. They're number 327 in tempo, so low possession kind of game, which really leans into Maryland covering, especially given their defense and their slower tempo as well. They're number 300 in that category over the last month. And look at Wisconsin, what they've done at EFG categories, 168 in offense, and also 218 in defense, and it's 207 EFG defense at home this season, where there are 12-2. So I think Wisconsin wins, kind of gets right in a way, but might have to sweat this sucker out with some game-clinching free throws from Klesmit or somebody else here at the end. So give me the Terps, baby. Turtle power plus 7.5 in Madison, minus 115 juice at FanDuel Sportsbook. Numero quattro here on the Fade 5 Tuesday edition of the podcast. I say for Sparta. Give me Michigan State minus 9.5 against the visiting Iowa Hawkeyes inside Breslin, minus 110 juice. They're at BetMGM. Why am I siding with the Fighting Tom Izzos? Well, this team is got some direction. They're playing at a very high rate, springboarded by their victory over my ILL about a week ago. And I think the good time's going to keep on rolling. Looking like a single-digit seed right now comfortably paw the 8-9 line, and they could certainly rise come Selection Sunday. And I think they're going to hold home court here, where they are 13-2 straight up this season. Number 83 in EFG offense and number 20 in EFG defense. And defense, it doesn't exist with the Iowa Hawkeyes. They're number 327 on the road this season in that category, where they are also just 2-7 straight up. As usually is for Fran McCaffrey teams, very good offensively. But interestingly, this Iowa team hasn't really shot the three ball particularly well. Over the last 30 days, they're netting just 30.3% from distance. And more importantly, they're giving up 40.1% along the arc. So those perimeter assassins, Walker, Akins, Holloman, for Michigan State, I think will be the difference of this game, covering or not covering for the home team. So I'm letting it ride with Sparty. Let's party, baby. Keg stands for everybody. If you cover the 9.5 against the Hawkeyes at a -110 juice at BetMGM. Numero Trace here with the feed. 5, a countdown. BYU, the Stormin' Mormons. I'm going to lay the chalk here against visiting Baylor at a -110 juice. Available there at DraftKings Sportsbook. And this line has climbed. Open at 2.5 for like a fleeting moment at some of the books. Went to 3 overnight. I woke up this morning. It was 4, or in some places, 4.5. It could be 5, 5.5 as this line is getting steamed up by tip time. But I'm going to lay the 4, and I probably only play this up to 4.5, to be honest with you. And the bitter end, I liked it a hell of a lot more with the original number. But you look at BYU, a team that has been outstanding at home, where they are 13-2 straight up, where they're number 23 EFG offense, number 53 in EFG defense. They've had a pretty, smooth and relatively smooth transition to the Big 12. A lot of people thought they were going to be bottom feeders in that league, and they're certainly there in the mishmash of that conference and looking like having a very strong overall NCAA tournament profile. Now, the bottom barrel part of BYU is defensively. They're number 298 in EFGD over the last 30 days. But again, home is where the heart is. Home apparently is where the guarding is. As I mentioned, 53 in EFGD in their friendly confines. A team that, again, defensive flaws aside, excellent in terms of 2-point percentage offense. They really attack the rim. And they do a decent job protecting it as well. But you look at Baylor, they're far worse defensively than even BYU. Number 335 EFGD over the last month. They're giving up 54% inside the arc. And get this, 39.9% from 3. I might even have a shot, a spot up, probably top of the key, and probably banking one home from distance against this defense. Excellent offensive team, number 18 EFG offense. But they're playing at a much slower pace than they historically have shown. Number 341 in tempo. And on the road this season, number 320 in EFGD, in which those matchups, they are 3-3 straight up. So all the stats aside, I think it's going to be a full throat of like 16, 17,000. They're inside the Marriott Center, which historically has given the home team quite the advantage. I think Cosmo's going to be dunking home celebratory slams there during the breaks and at halftime, because BYU, I think, is going to somewhat cruise to a cover here. So I'm going to lay the 4 against the visiting Baylor Bears. Numero dos here on the feed at 5. Countdown. Let's go to a battle of the Lone Star State. I'm going to take the over with the great Hardy Toads of TCU. Going to the Red Raiders and guns up, baby. And that total at 147.5. And I think this is going to eclipse 150 in the end. -110 juice there at BetMGM. Why am I so confident? Well, you look at TCU on the road, number 51. And EFG offense, and defensively, they're north of number 200. Yeah, they're 5-3, striping those affairs. I don't care if they win or lose in this game. Just make damn buckets, and the same applies to Texas Tech, who's got one of the better home court advantages in college basketball. They are 13-1 at Lubbock, number 161, a little so-so there. EFG offense, number 71, and EFG defense. But what is important here is what Tech has shown over the last 30 days. They're number 48 in EFG offense and number 135 in EFG defense. So if they kind of stick to the schedule they have been on in those two categories, and knowing that this game is probably going to be briskly paced, TCU loves to run. Number 54 and overall in Torvik. They're number 214 in tempo last 30 days, but that's not really indicative of what they've done the entire season. And Texas Tech, right around that same area. But I think this game is going to be comfortably in the mid to upper 70s. We might have to pucker up at the end. Just hit your froze, bros. And if that happens, I think we're cashing in. I think the total is going to land around 150 to 155. And overtime is always in play. And of course, overtime is where unders go to die. So to recap, TCU Tech over 147.5. Numero dos here, the Fave 5 countdown at a minus 110 juice at BetMGM. Numero uno on the pod today. I'm going to go with the marquee matchup of the evening on this SGP. And come with me if you are buying what I'm selling. I'm going to take the Creighton Blue Jays. Fly high, baby. You're going to need to. Plus 7.5 the old line. And I'm going to take the over on the all total 139.5. You put those hands together. Plus 102, little baby. Seduced by the juice there at DraftKings Sportsbook. I know what you're thinking. UConn went out and slaughtered, massacred Marquette. They will have no problem against Creighton, but this game is in Omaha, hike, and that is a major difference because Creighton's been very good at home this season. They are 11-2, number 5 in the nation, EFG offense, number 49 in EFG defense. This game probably going to be a little bit more up-tempo as Creighton and McDermott and company are really going to try to get UConn out of the comfort zone, which is in the half court. The Blue Jays, number 127 adjusted tempo last 30 days. And get this, number 4 in the country in EFG offense are shooting 61.3% inside the arc, 37.8% outside of it. I think Ryan Kalkbrenner and Dominic Klingen will cancel each other out inside. The difference in this game is who wins the arc battle. And I say the former fight jackrabbit Baylor Shireman gets the upper hand in this one. Hopefully the defense will arrive, but I think Creighton, win or lose, we'll keep this nice and snug. And the overhits, my top play of the day on that SGP. Blue Jays plus 7.5 and the over 139.5 plus 102 at DraftKings Sportsbook. But wait, there's more. It's bonus time. Very quickly here. I'm going to give you my Team Huevos parlay play of the day on this SGP at a plus 315 juice put together at DraftKings and no profit boost even involved. Utah State money line. San Diego State, who was visiting there in Logan, plus 8.5. And the Alva, 137.5. Simple three-legger. Again, north of 3-1 odds. You look at San Diego State, just mediocre 4-6 on the road and a mediocre 141 in EFGD. Now, over the last 30 days, much better in that category, number 93. But Utah State is going to dictate tempo in this game. They love to run, evidenced by the number 84 ranking in adjusted tempo over the last 30 days. And they're number 26 in the nation, EFG offense at home, in which they are 9-1 straight up. They're coming off a clunker. Or the Aggies, they need to get right here, really solidify their at-large resume. And why not do it against the conference frontrunner and the Aztecs? So on this SGP, Utah State money line, San Diego State plus 8.5 and the over 137.5. Oh, cool. Oh, so cool. Plus 315 there at DraftKings Sportsbook. And then one last wager for you on this podcast. Give me St. Mary's. I'm going to lay the 6.5 on a late night affair against San Francisco out there in the West Coast Conference. I know the Dons are 6-3 straight up on the road, where they are top 80 EFG offense and EFG defense. And man, St. Mary's has come on strong without a whole lot of fanfare. They are the conference runner and not the Zags for a damn reason. Over last month, number 6 overall, according to Bart Torvik's advanced analytics, one of the slowest teams in the country, 354 adjusted tempo. They are number 9 EFG defense at home and a respectable number 46 in EFG offense. And they're top 20 in those two categories the last 30 days. They will out-rebound. They will really suffocate the Dons defensively. And I think the three-point offense with Aiden Mahaney will get the necessary cover here in the end. I say the Gales by 10 or more, and that line right now sitting at 6.5. All right, I am out of breath. We are out of time here on the solo mission of the Fade 5 podcast. Do me a favor, sign up for free on my new site right now, thegamingjuice.com. All of my written content lives there. The podcast shows up there as well, and all my free picks to boot. So go to thegamingjuice.com now. Sign up for free. Start a conversation. click, converse, and maybe cash at thegamingjuice.com. Also, drop us a rating and review whenever convenient, and feed and follow us on the X or the Twitter. We're always trying to give it to you. Me at Noisy Huevos and Lundy at Nate Lundy. Good Sir Lundy, enjoy those Mai Tais at the Royal Hawaiian. One of the best drinks on planet Earth, especially staring off the horizon, looking over the ocean and the sunset. Just absolutely breathtaking there in Hawaii. I'm Brad Evans. As always, until next time, feed or follow. That is up to you.